Homily for the Feast of the Holy Family. Sunday, Year A, December 28th, 2025. Sirach, chapter 3, verses 2 to 6 and 12 to 14. Colossians chapter 3, verses 12 to 21. Matthew chapter 2, verses 13 to 15 and 19 to 23. Reflection by Reverend Father Clifford Atta Anim. On this last Sunday of the year, the Church invites us to pause and reflect on the feast of the Holy Family, Jesus, Mary, and Joseph. As we stand at the threshold of a new year, we come before the altar carrying our own families in our hearts. We offer our parents and children, our struggles and joys, our brokenness and hopes, asking God to bless, heal, and strengthen our homes. The Feast of the Holy Family reminds us that holiness is not lived only in monasteries or churches, but first and foremost in the ordinary, demanding, and sacred space of family life. The first reading from the book of Sirach reflects deeply on the fourth commandment, "Honor your father and your mother," from Exodus chapter 20, verse 12. Sirach speaks with realism and tenderness, knowing that honoring parents is not always easy, especially as they grow old or become dependent. Yet he insists that faithfulness in this duty draws God's blessing. He highlights two rewards promised by God. Media group. Joyful family gathered around a table, grandparents surrounded by grandchildren, elderly parents smiling with adult children in a gardeny stock, distributes to equally a life filled with blessing, and a long life rooted in God's favor, as found in Sirach chapter 3, verses 1 through 16. Scripture consistently affirms this truth. Noah's sons are blessed when they respect their father, as told in Genesis chapter 9. Ruth is praised for her loyalty to Naomi in Ruth chapter 1. Jesus himself remains obedient to Mary and Joseph at Nazareth, as we read in Luke chapter 2, verse 51. Respect within the family is never wasted. It becomes a channel of grace. In the second reading, St. Paul addresses the Christian community at Colossae with practical wisdom for family life. He urges believers to clothe themselves with compassion, kindness, humility, patience, and forgiveness. Above all, love, which binds everything together in perfect harmony, as we hear in Colossians chapter 3, verses 12 through 17. These words form part of what scholars often call the household code. While cultural expressions may change over time, the heart of Paul's message remains timeless. Christian families are called to be places where gratitude replaces bitterness, forgiveness overcomes resentment, and love shapes every relationship. Paul reminds us that holiness grows when family members choose daily to care for one another. This echoes Jesus' teaching that love, lived in concrete actions, is the true mark of discipleship, as he says in John chapter 13, verses 34 and 35. The Gospel presents the Holy Family not in a peaceful moment at Nazareth, but in flight and danger. Joseph and Mary must protect the child Jesus from the murderous threat of King Herod by escaping into Egypt, as described in Matthew chapter 2, verses 13 to 15. This scene reminds us that the Holy Family was not spared suffering or uncertainty. They knew fear, displacement, and hardship. Yet, in all this, they trusted God's guidance. Joseph listens attentively to God's voice in dreams and acts decisively. Mary carries both the child and the mystery in her heart. Jesus, though divine, shares fully in the vulnerability of human life. Scripture shows that God often saves through families who trust him, from Noah's household preserved through the flood in Genesis chapter 7, to the Passover families protected by obedience in Exodus chapter 12. From today's celebration, several important life lessons emerge. First, we are invited to learn from the Holy Family. Jesus, Mary, and Joseph lived a simple life marked by hard work, mutual respect, and deep faith. Joseph provided through honest labor, Mary nurtured the home with love and trust, and together they helped Jesus grow in wisdom, age, and favor before God and people, as we hear in Luke chapter 2, verse 52. Their home was not perfect because it was free of difficulty, but because it was rooted in obedience to God and care for one another. Second, we are challenged to make our families places of mercy rather than judgment. A wise saying compares the family either to a courtroom or a confessional. In a courtroom, everyone defends themselves and accuses the other, and no one truly wins. In a confessional, there is honesty, humility, forgiveness, and healing. Scripture urges this attitude: bear with one another and forgive one another, as it says in Colossians chapter 3, verse 13. Families grow strong, not when members are faultless, but when they are willing to admit faults and begin again. Third, we are reminded that marriage is a sacrament of holiness. Through the sacrament of matrimony, Christ dwells within the family, sanctifying spouses and children alike. Holiness in family life is achieved not through extraordinary deeds, but through fidelity in daily responsibilities, patience in trials, prayer in moments of weakness, and trust in God's grace. As Joshua declared, "As for me and my house, we will serve the Lord," from Joshua chapter 24, verse 15. As we close this year, the Feast of the Holy Family invites us to renew our commitment to our own families. May our homes become places where God is welcomed, love is practiced, forgiveness is offered, and faith is passed on from one generation to the next. God bless you.